Welcome back everyone, and I have a new piece of equipment that I am thrilled about. Finally, someone made a rim thickness measuring tool that will put my homemade one to rest. Goodbye. It's the Rabbit Hole Rim and Primer Gauge. You can get it with or without the gauge and certain other options. You should definitely check this out at rabbitholeprecision.com. And the best part of it all is its simplicity and the fact that I can now get a reading in the 10,000ths of an inch using my existing Primal Rights primer gauge with a very simple swap from my primer seating depth measuring setup. If you find this video helpful, please subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications, leave a like, and if you'd like to donate, head over to the membership link for just $3 a month. Now let's measure some rims, baby. Well, it finally arrived. The Rabbit Hole Precision Rim and Primer Gauge. It's also called the RPG. It was only 3 days late. I'm surprised. It's not Rabbit Hole's fault. It's United States Postal Service because they're full of DEI hires, but I'll digress on that. So it comes in a nice little case, even though it's not going to go back in the case because mine gets changed from the gauge. So this is the main body here. This part here is the main body. Now, I saved $50 on this because it's a blemish model. You see this little mark here? Well, to me that little mark is worth 50 bucks. Then it came with the plates that I ordered for my 6mm BR. Now they come in sets. This is a set CP1 and CP2. I believe these are the two plates that you need for finding rim thickness. And then this set, LPP and SPP, I believe these are the ones for finding primer pocket depth and primer seating depth. We will get to all of this. I just wanted to show you how it came, and of course it came with a nice little sticker will go on my safe. And then this is a bag of screws and goodies and attachments and all that to put it together, which I have no idea how to do that yet, so I'm going to have to get out the manual and figure it out. And if I put all two cells together, I should be able to do this. So let's get on with that part. I'm going to try to do my best on this without getting in the camera's way, because this camera is set up now to focus automatically. See how it focuses on that? Then I bring it into you here to focus on that, because I got to be able to show you here and closer how things work. But my hands are going to get in front of this thing while I'm doing it, so it's probably going to focus on my hands. The background will go out, but don't worry, you won't miss anything. So this is my Primal Rights gauge that I am using along with this new RPG, and I've got to take the stuff off of this that's for Primal Rights. So the first thing I would do is spin off the collar. I have to take their plunger out because they have a plunger of their own that we're going to use. I'm going to put that on that magnet there. That's aluminum. And then I have to take off this base, which is nice. They're 2mm set screw that comes with it fits. See how my hands get in front, but I can't help it. Okay, so now that's out of there. Now, mounting this is just as easy, but the thing is I'm going to be using mine upside down because I am not going to take my gauge off of this gauge stand every time I want to use it. So in order to mount it upside down, see, they say to put it on this way and then tighten their screw. But that won't work the way these plates are. So I have to put mine on. I'm going to get in the way. I got to put this Allen key in there. And I got to spin it around because I want that set screw in the back for the way I'll be using it. This is all however you're going to use it. So that is mounted now. You don't jam them screws down that tight. They're just set screws. Now the first thing that goes on to their unit is this spring. Okay? This goes down on the shaft. So next, after that spring goes on, I want to take this little thumb lever, they call it. Okay, because this will be used like this so you can lift up and down on it. That's going to go on along with their plunger head or whatever you want to call it. And that is threaded at the end. It comes with two, so make sure you got the right one. It's got this hole in it and it's threaded on the top also. So you would take your thumb lever, put this through it, and screw it into the gauge dial, shaft, whatever. Now if you've got a 10,000 scale like I do, you want to snug this up because any little bit of movement is going to throw you off. Now see how that pushes it down? All right. Now the next thing you're going to need is this. This is the base measuring plate. I'm sure they have another word for it. But that's going to screw on here. This is for doing rim thickness readings. Okay, everything's tight. Now, I got the set CP1 and CP2, so I want to use CP plate 1 because I'm going to be doing rim thickness measuring. So this will go on top and the screws will go through here. See, I got CP1, but I want the opening facing this way because I'm going to be sliding the shell in this way, and that's the way the screw holes line up on it too. So that's why I had to spin this, because I'm upside down. So things got to go around. Now there's two screws like this, little screws. That will go down into there, and they're going to be recessed, which is nice. Get us all nicely lined up. Boy, they really got to line up, so they got some tight tolerance here. That's nice. Okay, then we would take the other Allen key it comes with. I don't know what size. Ask me if I care? No. It's the right size. Let's say that, it's the right size. Now I'll just snug it up a little bit. Okay, that one's snug. Now I'm going to go back. Snug that one. Snug this one. Now, I'm not going to really go nuts on it, but I just want to get a little leverage. I want to make sure this plate is flat. Okay. So that's what that is for, this thumb thing. So now let's turn the gauge on. Now obviously we're going to want to zero this gauge right now with this thing pressing up against the bottom of the plate. I will zero the gauge. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to read 10 of them. So we're zeroed now, and I've got some brass here that's in the beginning process. It's been cleaned and it's been dried. That's about it. So we're going to do 10 pieces. We're zeroed. So now let's take a piece, push down the lever. Oh, that is so cool. 0.0528. 0.0528. Point 0.0517. 0.0522. Not bad so far. It's good brass liqueur. 0.0536. 0.0536. Wow, this is nice. This is so much better than my homemade thing. And I'm getting to read in 10,000s now. 0.0520 more. 0.0545. 0.0545. One more. This is exciting. I know. 0.0535. 0.0535. All right, so now here are our readings. I'm going to find the longest and the shortest out of these 10. Shortest one was 0.0517, and the longest one was 0.0546. Let me get my little handy calculator here. See what we got here? Okay, 0546, 0517. I'm going to subtract these now. So I have 0.0546 minus 0.0517 equals, can you see that? 0.0029. And there you go. More proof in the pudding, what I've been telling you all along about rim thickness, how it's going to throw off your primer seating depth. Now this is only 10 of them. There could be a shorter one, there could be a longer one in a batch of 100 or something. So what this is telling you is if you don't change, or if you don't use that bracket that I invented, if you have a CPS primer, where I come within plus or minus 0.03, which is this number over here, your primer seating depth on these 10 shells could be almost 0.03 difference. That is not acceptable. That is not acceptable. So with a rim thickness gauge, you're going to know where you're at, you're gonna know more of what you need to do. At the point it is right now, I basically just bought this so I could show you better measurements with the rim thickness gauge. In all reality, I don't have to ever use this again. It doesn't matter to me anymore, because the fact is that I have that bracket that I made for the Primo-Rites CPS primer that takes the whole game of rim thickness out of it. Rim thickness doesn't come in play with that bracket I made. And I come within plus or minus 3/10,000ths of an inch. So that is just more proof of how important it is to have that bracket and have a CPS primer. Primo-Rite CPS primer. If you want to stop sorting your brass by primer seating depth. That's the bottom line. I don't know how to make one for another primer seating tool. Maybe somebody will come out with something. But as it stands right now, that's Primo-Rite's CPS primer tool with the bracket that I designed is the only way to get plus or minus 3/10,000ths of an inch in seating primers. So this here demonstration really drilled down how it all works.